is Week 14 in the National Football League as your Seattle Seahawks square off against the Arizona Cardinals for the second time in a 3-week stretch. On today's show, we will break down our keys to a Seahawks victory. We'll go over the injury report, and I'll give you my prediction in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Seattle at 7-5, the Cardinals at 6-6. The Cardinals slight favorites, just by about 2 points or so. And these two teams met relatively recently. Back on Week 12, it was the Seahawks that got the best of the Cardinals with a dominating 16-6 win, which was big for this Seahawks team, part of this 3-game winning streak that they are on right now. If you are ready for Seahawks game day, spam S in the comments section. I want to see at least 300 S's in the comments. Get in that comment section as if you're at Lumen Field. You're fired up for Seahawks football. Get in that chat. Spam S if you're ready to go. It's our rallying cries on game days. Get those S's going. We'll get started with today's show. As of Wednesday, at the time of this recording, the Seahawks injury report looks as follows. Michael Dixon, we call him Mike Dixon around here, he has a back issue, and he is questionable. And if you recall, the back issue was a big enough problem for the Seahawks last week that they had to go for it on fourth down because they didn't know about if Michael Dixon could pull off a decent punt or not. So we'll see what goes on there as far as Michael Dixon's back goes. DK Metcalf with a knee issue, he is questionable. And then A.J. Finley, who the Seahawks claimed off waivers from the L.A. Chargers just about a week or so ago, he is questionable with an ankle injury. Meanwhile, for the Arizona Cardinals, as of Wednesday, they don't have anybody on their injury report. So the Cardinals coming in pretty good shape for Sunday with no players on the injury report as of right now. What's it going to take to defeat Arizona? Let's go ahead and tell you our keys to victory for the Seahawks. Let's start with the hottest player for this Seahawks offense right now. That is Jaxon Smith-Njigba. JSN has been fantastic over the last several weeks. And it really started when DK Metcalf went down. It was an opportunity for JSN to really show up and show out. And boy, has he ever. He's gone 5 straight games with at least 4 catches and a nice total of 69 receiving yards. He has been very, very good with a couple 100-yard games mixed in there as well. He is on pace for 1,000 yards. You got to roll with the hot hand. I think if you're Geno Smith, if you're this Seahawks offense, you got to do whatever it takes to get the ball in your best playmaker's hands. I'm watching for JSN to show up, show out, and have a big one against Arizona and be a key factor for Seattle's offensive success. Who do you got? I'm going to give you my prediction coming up later, but want to hear from you guys. You going with the Seahawks or you going with the Cardinals? Type S for Seahawks, type C for Cardinals. Get your predictions in the comment section. Let us know how you think Sunday's game is going to go. We're going to be live right here on Seahawks Today for Seahawks and Cardinals. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock Pacific time. We'll do an hour-long pregame show, and we'll react to the game in real time, have a few drinks on hand. Big Tex is going to be here with me as well. Don't miss out. Seahawks and Cardinals this Sunday. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. That way you join us for our live coverage right here on Seahawks Today, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's talk about the run defense for Seattle. And one player that's had a very strong 2024 campaign for the Cardinals is James Conner. And if you're Seattle, you got to do what you can to limit the impact, the production of James Conner. James Conner, so far this year, has been one of the key pieces to this Cardinals offense as he's had 4 100-plus yard receiving games this season. That's tied for the 4th most of any running back in the NFL. And he didn't play that well in the game against Seattle a couple weeks ago. The Seahawks run defense did a really good job. I'm going back to the well and doing what I can to slow down James Conner, because when James Conner is on, this offense is totally different, folks, for this Arizona Cardinals team. So far this season, averaging over 4 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns, 773 yards. I'm doing what I can to minimize his impact. And we mentioned the improvements of the Seahawks run defense since adding Ernest Jones. They have held their opponents to under 100 yards in 3 of 4 games the last 4 weeks with 131 rushing yards allowed against San Francisco. That would be the only time that they gave up more than 100 yards there. You look at the run defense rankings for Seattle, and you can see this number has greatly improved in recent weeks with holding opponents to about 4.7 yards per rush. That's 25th best in the NFL. Yards per game is down to 127. That's 21st in the NFL. Still some work to do, but the run defense is heading in the right direction. We can't talk about impact players without mentioning Big Cat Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams has had the best 2 weeks with Seattle since he joined this franchise just a season ago, and I'm looking to keep things up. He's got to keep on eating, folks. The last 2 games, he's had a total of 10 tackles, 4.5 sacks, an interception, including a 92-yard pick six in last week's win against the Jets. And you look at those numbers, and you can see most of his sacks this season coming within the last 2 weeks. He's also had 10 TFLs, 35 tackles. Leonard Williams has been fantastic. I'm letting him just go after it, go ham on Kyler Murray and have a big day. I want to see Leonard Williams just really show up and deliver for this Seahawks team. Who will be the Seahawks MVP against the Cardinals? Will it be Leonard Williams, or will it be somebody else? Get your predictions in now. Who you think is going to step up for Seattle against Arizona this week? Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. Looking for tickets to a Seahawks game? We got those as well. We got the Kraken. We got all your Seattle teams and Seattle events you may be looking for, folks. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. They have their seat views as well so you can get the visual, see what that seat is like. Choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Choose your seat, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports. $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's talk about the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, the former first overall pick, the Heisman Trophy winner out of the University of Oklahoma. Kyler Murray, after having that ACL injury, had a rough go of it at the end of last year when he returned, but he's played pretty solid this season, throwing for 13 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions, and a QB rating of 94.8. But those are just the passing numbers. With Kyler Murray, you always have to be aware of his running ability. One of the fastest players in the National Football League. He has had the fastest run of any quarterback in the last 8 seasons back on October 6th of 21.27 miles per hour, folks. That's some next-gen stats for you. If you're Seattle, you got to do what you can to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him throw on the run. Don't let him have those big scrambles. Do what you can to contain him, and don't let him go off on you like that. We've seen from this Seahawks team this year offensively the good versions of Geno Smith and the bad versions of Geno Smith. And all I'm asking for, can we get good Geno this week? I don't need Geno to throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. If that happens, great. But that's not what I need to beat Arizona. I just need a clean game from Geno Smith. Manage the game. Don't make mistakes. What we've seen from Geno in this 3-game win streak, the numbers aren't phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination. Just 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, averaging about 227 yards per game in that streak. That's been good enough. And that's the thing. When you look at Geno, I think what you're asking for, you see that, hey, this year he's thrown 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and all those picks aren't all of his fault either. Completion percentage has been pretty good at 68.8%. I just don't need Geno to get in the way. I don't need Geno to be a superhero. but I don't need him throwing 2 or 3 interceptions and be the reason why they lose. Just manage the game. Don't make mistakes. Get the good version of Geno Smith, and the Seahawks team is going to be fine. Do you believe in Geno? Is Geno going to come through and get the job done for the Seahawks this Sunday? Type B for believe, D for don't. Do you believe that he's going to step up and get the job done? Let us know in the comments section. So before we reveal my pick for Sunday, let's recap our keys to a win for Seattle. Got to see more Jaxon Smith-Njigba. He's been really good the last several weeks. Keep up the momentum. Got to do what you can to limit James Conner and his impact. He is such a key piece to the Arizona Cardinals' success. Let Big Cat eat. He's been on fire the last 2 weeks. Keep that going. Keep the momentum going with him. Contain Kyler Murray. Don't let him escape the pocket too much. Don't need any big runs from him, throwing on the run and all that, and need the good version of Geno Smith. I don't need him to be a hero, but I can't afford him to be making too many mistakes either. If the Seahawks do all those things, I think they find a way to win. I think this game's closer than the first matchup. I think offense is going to be better than the first matchup as well. I'll go with the Seahawks 25-21 to get their 4th straight win and to be in the driver's seat for an NFC West division title. If you're ready for a Seahawks win, spam W in the comments section. Want to see all the W's in there if you're ready for Seahawks victory. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on Sunday afternoon for Seahawks and Cardinals right here on Seahawks Today.